Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Alex Bryce here with Angler Sports Center, and it's that time of the week, your weekly fishing report. Now, reminders before we start. We got a couple events coming up. First one is going to be Sunday, December the 15th, and this is going to be pretty much Pictures with Santa here at Anglers. We got a couple other things going on that same day, and I believe it's on a Sunday. Make sure you bring the kids, bring the dogs, pets, everybody, bring your wife, come by and take some pictures for the holidays. And now the one I'm really excited for, it's going to be the Gun Bash, and that is January 4th. So that's going to be awesome. Make sure you go on our website, check it out. There's details on there for all of these events, and make sure you come by and say hi. Now let's get started with the fishing report. What's going on? Let's start with what's going on up north. And now we're switching it up to pretty much a Susquehanna River area right now. That upper part, they're catching a decent amount of blue catfish around the bridges there, the 95 bridge, and then down towards the mouth there where the flats start. There's a decent amount of 30, 40, even some 50-pound blue cats on there. Most people are drifting, cut bait, you cut LY in there, and they're also catching some mix of smaller rockfish in there. Now if you work your way up to the dam, you're gonna find out that there's some walleye going on there, some walleye fishing right below the dam, some smallmouth, and that's pretty much what's going on right there. Now if you work your way down towards this area here in the Annapolis area, you're looking at pretty much finding your rockfish right out here in the main stem of the bay. A lot of mixed-sized fish right now. There's been a lot of mid-20s to some upper 40-inch fish, anywhere from the Bay Bridge down towards Bloody Point and Thomas Point. So if you're going out trolling, the best thing I would recommend is either troll from pretty much the eastern side of the Bay Bridge down to Tolley's, down to Thomas Point, and then work your way to the western side on Thomas Point and work your way up. That seems to be one of the nice areas where most of these guys are trolling. Your bigger tandems now, like that, with your 9-inch baits. If you're really trying to target those bigger fish, you want to go up to those bigger baits. And this is one of the hot colors too. This is the holographic green. I know we've talked about it a lot. It works, believe me. You gotta try it out if you haven't, and that's what they're catching them with. Now the depth, it's gonna be anywhere between 35, 40, maybe even 50 foot of water right now. Those fish are moving through those channel edges and the channels, so make sure you check that out. Now the other hot areas are gonna be pretty much the mouth of the Chop Tank River, and then work your way south to the bigger congregations of fish, which are going to be right off Chesapeake Beach, right off the channel edges there, and then work your way south towards pretty much between, like I mentioned before, the Patuxent and the Potomac River, and that's going to be the biggest concentrations of fish. Now if you're jigging anywhere in the area and you want to go get those bigger fish, you can upgrade to the 10-inch Bussin' Baits or the 10-inch Boss BKDs. One great jig that I like to use to pair them up with, it's those Coach 1 ounce to 1.5 ounce jig heads. That's going to be your best bet, to get those down there. And remember, you're fishing a little bit deeper right now, so you're going to be fishing those areas where you're going to be fishing 25 to 40, maybe even 50 foot of water. Just make sure you find some fish, mark them, try to get down to the water depth. Now, of course, the yellow perch fishing has been hit or miss right off pretty much Beechwood and the Magathy. So that's going to be one of those areas where you really want to play it on the tides. A lot of guys were reporting some decent sized yellow perch a couple days ago, and some white perch also, and pickerel. Middle River area has been producing some fish over there too, with some smaller yellow perch, a lot of non-keeper size yellow perch, and of course, even some snakeheads and bass in that area. If you're trying to really get into some of them, I would recommend trying some of the areas like Tuckahoe Creek right there at Hillsboro, where it's some of those typical spring spots. And remember, minnows, small jigs, bobbers, a couple inline spinners, and of course, I've mentioned this a lot, the little X-Wraps. Favorite ones, you'll catch anything with those. Seven River, it's been a mixture of the same reports, bass, pickerel, and whatnot. Most of these guys are fishing pretty much round bait and north of that area, so that's going to be one of those areas where you want to be this time of the year. Pretty much that's it for your fishing report. Besides that, you have your tog fishing going off Ocean City right now with a mixture of stripers also, and green crabs and pretty much blue crabs on the jig right off the Route 50 bridge are going to be the ticket. The migratory fish coming off the beach, we have not heard much from acetique. Unfortunately, seems like it's one of those patterns from previous 2 or 3 years where those fish are not coming in close to the coast here. So we'll see what happens here in the next week or so. And you know, you guys keep in touch with us. Let us know what's going on out there. Send us your pictures. Tag us on Instagram, Facebook. Give us a like on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, and make sure to go on our website and check out the pretty much, you know, all the events coming up. And that's it for your fishing report, guys. You guys have a good one, and catch them up.